Well, I have two daughters, as you mentioned, and there are a couple of things that I have made sure that I am a broken record about. And the simplest one is always honor your little yes and your little no. From an early age, I would do, little exercises, I guess technically kind of kinesiology exercise. I would do little exercises with them where I would have them feel for what a yes feels like and what a no feels like. Now, the caveat, the disclaimer is that when you raise girls, and, one of my books is called Own Yourself. And my daughter's one day, it's ridiculous. I was in a real kind of new agey moment of my life. And I was all about, not that this is necessarily that, but I was all about ecstatic dance, right? And so I'm trying to drag and I love dancing, and I'm trying to drag my girls, and they were tweens at the time. I'm trying to drag them to this ecstatic dance thing, right? Because in my worldview, I'm this conscious mom, and, I've broken all these cycles. Meanwhile, I had not even begun to do the deeper work. And I could talk about parenting, mothering all day long, because there is nothing I'm more passionate about than the plot twists around what it is to actually develop intimacy with your children. And how much it asks of you in terms of emotional self-regulation and maturity. Okay, so I thought I was already done, right? So anyway, I want them to come to this ecstatic dance thing, and they don't want to come. But I think it's good for them to come and to be around community and have this experience of moving their bodies and blah, blah, whatever. They don't want to go. And they literally created this big poster. Because around the time the book came out in 2019. And it said, own yourself, right? And wow. So they basically were you told us that our no is our no, and we don't want to come, right? So we're not coming. And, I have canceled trips that I planned because they, and honestly, it was a brief window. It was probably a year where there was a lot of that. And I was showing them, I actually care about your opinion. And it's not that your opinion trumps my opinion or whatever, but I actually am listening to what it is that you're perceiving, right? Because if we think of one of the feminine responsibilities in a polarized dynamic as being what you don't want, right? What I feel, what I don't want. What I don't want is the feeling I have of no. Okay, so you say, hey, baby, let's go. I really want to go fishing in Utah. And I feel right? My responsibility is to say, I don't know, it doesn't feel good when I imagine myself being out on that boat. No. So, and then you iterate from there based on how I feel. Okay, so that's one of the dynamics you can grow as a man and woman. And if my responsibility is what I don't want, then how am I as a mother interacting with my daughters? No. Am I coercing? Am I manipulating? Am I dismissing? Am I power overing her? No. Well, then I'm teaching her to abdicate her primary responsibility, which is to learn how to work with her no.
You're enforcing self-respect.
Yes. And self-alignment.
It's not self-love, it's self-respect. And I love this word, self-alignment to what is actually real for me. And I hear that as a parent. If I'm manipulating or coercing, then I'm confusing their actual alignment to themselves and to their own inner knowingness.
You're generating a codependent who will engage the covert exchange of giving to get. Yeah. Okay, mama, I'll come to the stupid thing I don't want to go to. Then you'll be nice to me. Then you'll approve of me. Then you'll love me, right? That's a codependent dynamic. And we bring that as women into our relationships, and we end up choosing men, right? That we can have that manipulative power over because it's so familiar, right? Rather than learning how to artfully remain connected while autonomous, right? Learning how to say no without burning a bridge, without that mixed energy of the push and pull, right? So that's most of what I have focused on with my daughters. They've also seen the light side of my independence and all the things. And they also know that I manage a lot, and that, if I had to do it differently, of course, it is how it needed to be, I would have prioritized identifying in my lifescape a man who was in his provider archetype. And I would have done that, not so that I can, nothing wrong with this, no shade, but not so that I could like sit on the couch and watch Netflix, but so that I could no longer entangle my creativity with providership, right? Because I could become a mogul, right? That's fine. But if it is in service of providership, there is a commingling of energies that constrains. It constrains creativity. And
Yes.
In my experience as a female entrepreneur, and the journey that I've had as a female CEO, which is a very complicated and in some ways unnatural experience to have, because women are not by nature hierarchical, right? So that when I surround myself with a team of women, it's quite messy because it's not in our natures. We're collaborative, right? Whereas I'm sure you've had this experience, right? Put 10 guys in a room. You organize within minutes. Who's good at
Very
what?
quickly.
Who's where? Who's the top dog here? Who's the top dog there? Right? Like it's a natural, phenomenological, unthreatening in many ways reality. So they've seen the challenges, and I do believe that they understand that they have a choice between being a career woman and a woman with a career. And that I feel passionately that being a woman with a career is aligned with their experience of their own soulfulness, of their own pleasure, of their own creativity that, they've come to appreciate.